Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today I want to talk about the difference of solar production between July, which is the summer in North America, and December, which is winter in North America. Now what I'm going to be using is all the data that I've collected throughout the year into my Victron energy dashboard. So let me go ahead and get the screen share started and we'll get it going. Okay, here is my off-grid basement Victron energy dashboard. And currently you can see that I'm charging with 90 watts and my battery's at 48.5%. I'm using around 190 watts and I'm getting about 266 watts from my solar panels. Okay, so first we're going to look at July of last year, and we're going to go ahead and just look at the entire month. So we're going to scroll down and we're going to look at from July 1st to July 31st. Okay, and what you can see here is, let's go ahead and switch the system overview to just solar. There we go. And you can see that, our total solar production in July was 226 kilowatt hours. There's like almost 5 consecutive days here where I got between 9 and 10 kilowatt hours on that day. That's enough to completely fill my battery plus another, 30% each day. And that's if I drop my battery all the way down to 10%, the next day it would charge right back up the whole way. And that is typical for July. Again, I have 2.6 kilowatts of solar outside. So, if you're thinking I'm getting 5 great hours of solar, that's where I'm getting my 10 kilowatts from. Because just because I have 2.6 kilowatts of solar panels outside doesn't mean I'm going to get 2.6 kilowatts per hour. That would be if it was perfectly angled and the sun had no clouds and everything was in perfect conditions. But in July it's hotter, so your voltage goes down a little bit. Your efficiencies in your solar panels aren't as good. But still, 10 kilowatts, that's great. And you can see that on a lot of these days, I'm getting over 10 kilowatt hours each day. On the low days, there's a 2.84 kilowatt hour day right here. And so that was a low one for me. But those are very few and far between. There's a couple more right here where I only got, a kilowatt hour. So that's July. And like I said, the total production that I achieved was 226 kilowatt hours. Now let's look at December of last year, which was last month. Okay, now we're looking at December of last year. And you can see that my solar production has drastically decreased. The overall solar production that I got in December is 53 kilowatts. Now, if you do the math and you divide 53 kilowatts, which is what I got in December, divided by 226 kilowatts, which is what I got in July, that's only 23%. So I only got 23% production in December compared to July, all of last year. Now, there's a couple of reasons why it's like that. First of all, it's winter. You got to think that the sun is way down on the horizon. Even at noon, the sun is going to be a lot lower. In July, it's going to be way overhead. And so there's going to be less atmosphere for that sunshine to go through in order to reach your solar panels. Now that right there would practically cut your production in half, I would say. Now with me, personally, I get even worse production because I live in a neighborhood with other houses next to me. and I live in a neighborhood that has an HOA, so I have to put my panels in certain spots. My HOA says that I cannot have a freestanding structure out in my yard unless it's playground equipment for my son. That was okayed. But everything else has to be in a certain area, and that is like the rock bed around my house, because that is what they call landscaping. So my panels have to stay in that landscaping area. And since I have it like that, the house next door, halfway through the day, shades my solar panels. So I only get half a day's production, which cuts it down another 50%. So that's where we're coming, that's why I only get 23% production, because first of all, it's garbage. December is, it's cloudy. When it's really sunny, you might get half of the production that you usually do. But then in my instance, it's getting cut down even more because I'm only getting half of the day's sunshine because I get a lot of shading from the house next door. Okay, well, that's really all I really wanted to show everyone in this video, is that the difference in production between summer and winter, it can be very drastic. And in my instance, it's very, very drastic. But you need to make sure and put that into consideration when you're purchasing panels. And you have to think about where you live. If you live on the equator, that's the best place to have them. Or if you live in a very sunny environment. But I live in central Illinois, and so the difference of production between summer and winter is very drastic. So you need to make sure and keep that into consideration. So with all that being said, thank you so much for watching this video. If you have any questions or any comments, please leave them in the comment section. And I hope you all have a great day. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.